This is Kathy Chase. I don't like being sabotaged, to be cornered to death for any means, and for people to throw the fact that they ruined my life and ruined my dreams, whether it was to have a successful life or to have money or anything of that nature, with Barack Obama imposing his treason upon the lives of me and my children, as our lives have been terror since he got in there, since he started going for president approximately 5 years ago. His intent, as people witness, as I tried to work with him in the very beginning of his first term, I tried to work with him. Well, his intent obviously was, by ruling out everything else, was to use me, to slave drive me to make more money. So not only was he throwing the fact that he stole my job from me, meaning in this term, but he wanted to take advantage of manipulating my life to make monies as well. In addition to what had already been made off my life before my exposure, meaning the technologies and so forth. His intent was to throw not only the job, the monies, the technology into my face with the left and the right. Now I want to make this really clear with Congress and the federal government, is that my intent is not that since my life is already ruined, it's not that I'm trying to achieve taking my job back. That's not getting my job. My goal is obviously that people are abusing powers that they shouldn't have and treading upon me and my life and my children with that aspect. And it's a disgrace. It's dishonorable. They don't have, any ability to know right from wrong, or where to stop, or when they're wrong. They think, slavery is not a joke. Human trafficking and trafficking children is not a joke. You don't sit there and hide behind the federal government to say that that's some sort of joke. As I said, when I talk about Barack Obama or George W. Bush or whatever, I talk about them because of what they've done to my life, what these people in between, the civilians, have done. And they couldn't appreciate nothing in life if they hadn't already had enough money and power. They wanted to throw that in my face, making my life a nightmare because of my childhood dreams and MLK and milk with an I, and exploiting me as a child. As I said, my goal is not to get my job necessarily, because I don't know that I can really even do that anyway. But my goal is to have people stop abusing power towards the lives of my children and I. And, people, and this has gone on for so many years. They refuse to stop. Now, I'm not sure what Jimmy Carter was insinuating on his page, considering, well, I never have made a choice about my life. I've never had an option in this whole scenario, because their intent was to sabotage me and corner me to death. And I'm not going to accept that, Mr. Carter. As I said, my goal is not about getting my job. And as far as the money's concerned, well, we know they're all greedy. They only think of themselves. There's nothing you can say to these people that'll make them realize that all they think about is themselves, that they're self-absorbed and they don't care about other people's lives. I've never been greedy in my life, and I've never had large sums of money. And as far as the power and money being abused towards me and my children, people biting the hand that's fed them, meaning the monies that have came from my life, and the power that they've taken from me. I mean, power, they look at it as power, but I look at it more as a job and a duty. There is no honor in these people. And so I want to make that really clear, that it's the fact that these people tread so heavily on the lives of me and my children. You know, they made their mafia up with ruining my life. They say I'm a slave. I've never received a dime, and neither have my kids, and we have been brutally abused in the country in which we were born, the United States of America. I'm not going to accept that you can put anything in a person's body to sabotage them to death in malicious intent. Now, as I said, people want to make it look like I'm preoccupied with trying to get my job. No. That's not the goal here. That's not what I'm preoccupied by, because, as I said, people have already ruined my life up till this point. My goal is to achieve freedom from individuals in which wish to tread upon my children and I with monies made from our life and powers achieved from my life, and how they tread upon us with that aspect, and they do not stop. That is what I'm talking about. I've already gathered that they're greedy, that they're willing to share monies made from my life with everybody but me. And I've already gathered that all they believe in is abusing money and power that technically they shouldn't have. As I said, there's nothing worse than people with money that abuse it. You're not supposed to use money to abuse money. They abuse money in such ways. They deface American money, dirty money, blood money, whatever you call it. They deface money and treading upon the lives of my children and I. They deface the federal government and treading upon the lives of me and my children. That is a fact. And as I said, I've never had a choice about my life, and this goes for any other politician with exclusion to perhaps Barack Obama and George W. Bush. I've never had a choice about my life. And as far as other presidents are concerned, you can't just say, I've never had a way out of my situation or a choice about my life. But I think I deserve choices. And who I'm referring to is Jimmy Carter. I deserve a way out of my situation because I've never had a choice in my life. I've never had the ability to choose my fate and my future at all in regards to anything. So it's not about a job for me, because I don't look at the job of the president the way they do, because they don't understand the job. Because the job of the president is not about slave driving people and hurting people.